Today's lesson is all about smooth, connected pronunciation. Let me say that again. Today's lesson is all about smooth, connected pronunciation. What exactly is happening there? In spoken English, when a word ends with a consonant sound, as in the word lesson, and the next word starts with a vowel sound, as in the word is, that ending consonant sound is linked across to that vowel sound. I'll give you another example. My name's Anne-Marie. Here we have the contracted word names with that ending consonant z. And of course, my name begins with a vowel. So, my name's Anne-Marie. My name's Anne-Marie. Linking consonants to vowels in this way will not only lead to more natural sounding speech, but also clearer speech with improved flow. To help you practice and get this linking right, we're going to take a bit of a non-traditional approach with a focus on phrasal verbs. As I'm sure you know, phrasal verbs are widely used in English conversation, and there are quite a few phrasal verbs in which one word ends with a consonant sound and the next word following it starts with a vowel. So we have to use this linking for clear, natural sounding speech. For example, to turn off. When used in spoken communication, it'll sound like this. To turn off. Turn off. Could you turn off the TV? Could you turn off the TV? We have two examples of that consonant to vowel linking in that question. Now, before we go any further, if this is your first time here, welcome. I'm Anne-Marie, an English confidence and fluency coach. Everything I do is designed to help you get the confidence you want for your life and work in English. If you'd love to access years of my Confident English lessons, including more lessons like this one focused on American pronunciation, you can find all of that and more at my Speak Confident English website. Now, when it comes to getting these linking sounds right, there are a few key details I want you to keep in mind before we get started. First, we're focused on sounds at the end and beginning of words, so it's important not to let spelling confuse you. For example, if I have this sentence, please add me to the email list. The word please, when we look at the spelling, ends with a vowel, but the ending sound is z, a consonant. So that sound links across to the word add. Please add me to the email list. Please add me to that email list. Second, as we continue through this lesson, I'll be using non-standard spelling to represent how we say some of these words aloud when we link the consonants to the vowels. My students have found these non-standard spellings helpful when visualizing how to pronounce them. So I hope it's helpful to you as well. And lastly, when it comes to linking sounds in English, we also have instances of linking a vowel to a vowel and a consonant to consonant. But we're going to save that for a future lesson. For now, we're focused solely on linking consonant sounds to vowel sounds. And now let's dive in to 10 common phrasal verbs where we have this consonant to vowel linking. As I mentioned at the start, phrasal verbs aren't just common, they're essential in English conversations. The 10 phrasal verbs that we'll look at today are used every single day by English speakers, so it's important to get them right. In this lesson, not only will I share with you the pronunciation of these phrasal verbs, but I'll also include the definition and an example sentence just in case the phrasal verb is new to you. So not only will you be improving your pronunciation, you'll also be adding to your vocabulary. The first on our list is to look at, which means to carefully consider or review something so that you're able to make a decision about it. And when we use this phrasal verb aloud, here's how it's pronounced. Look at. Look at. And here it is in a sentence. Upper management will look at ways to cut expenses this year. Upper management will look at ways to cut expenses this year. We have two examples of that consonant to vowel linking here. I'm going to say it one more time, and I encourage you to mirror what you hear. Upper management will look at ways to cut expenses this year. Upper management will look at ways to cut expenses this year. Phrasal verb number 2, to find out, which means to discover a fact or piece of information. And the pronunciation is find out. Find out. As in, I need to find out the time of the meeting. I need to find out the time of the meeting. Do you notice that once again we have 2 examples of that linking? I need to find out the time of the meeting. I need to find out the time of the meeting. Phrasal verb number 3 should already be a little bit familiar to you. To turn off, which means to stop the flow or shut off the flow of something. And again, the pronunciation is turn off. Turn off. Please turn off the lights before leaving. Please turn off the lights before leaving. Number 4 on our list is to pick up. This could mean either to lift someone or something or collect something and go. And the pronunciation, pick up. Pick up. Please pick up the kids from school. Please pick up the kids from school. If you've ever called customer service, then I know you've heard phrasal verb number 5, to hold on. This particular phrasal verb has a few different meanings. It could mean to stay alive in a precarious situation. It can also mean to deal with a situation. And quite often, it's used to tell someone to wait. When we say this phrasal verb aloud, here's how we link those sounds. Hold on. Hold on. Please hold on for a minute. Please hold on for a minute. Before we continue, let me pause just for a moment to ask how you're doing. I know that this can be a challenge, so I encourage you to practice multiple times. You can go back and listen and repeat as many times as you need to get comfortable with these linking sounds. In a moment, we'll talk a little bit more about how you can continue to practice so you truly master these linked sounds, but first let's continue with the next 5 phrasal verbs on the list today. Next, log in. As I'm sure you know, this means connecting to a computer system using an email address, for example, and a password. The pronunciation with that linked consonant to vowel is login. Login. For example, it took me a few minutes to log in to Zoom. It took me a few minutes to log in to Zoom. Number 7 is to hang out. This means to spend time relaxing and socializing, usually with friends. And here's the pronunciation. Hang out. Hang out. Do you want to hang out this weekend? Do you want to hang out this weekend? Number 8, to drop off. This means to take someone or something to another location and leave them there. And the pronunciation, drop off. Drop off. For example, I need to drop off some groceries for my parents. I need to drop off some groceries for my parents. Phrasal verb number 9, to run into. Once again, we have a phrasal verb with multiple possible meanings. To run into can mean to collide into something. It could mean unexpectedly meeting someone. For example, running into a neighbor at the grocery store. And it can mean to experience some kind of issue or problem. And here's the pronunciation. Run into. Run into. For example, I didn't expect to run into my friend from high school this weekend. I didn't expect to run into my friend from high school this weekend. And now our final phrasal verb, before we talk about ways to master these linking sounds, is to get up. Of course, this means to rise from a relaxed position or to rise from bed after sleeping. And the pronunciation, get up. Get up. And now here's your example sentence. I need to get up early to catch my flight. We have 2 examples of linking consonants to vowels here. I need to get up early to catch my flight. I need to get up early to catch my flight. So now, how exactly can you master consistently linking the consonant sounds at the end of one word with the vowel sounds at the beginning of the next? I have 4 recommendations for you. Number 1, listen for examples. Pay attention to the conversations happening around you and see if you can notice examples of speakers linking these sounds. In addition to that, you can have an intentional listening practice following these steps. You could choose a short, limited segment of a TV show or a podcast, and while you listen, focus intently on listening for those linking sounds. When you note them, mimic or mirror what you hear. The second recommendation is to read aloud. And again, I recommend doing this for a limited period of time. And rather than focus on reading just for fun, your intention is to focus on reading, adding in those linking sounds. So you could spend a couple of minutes analyzing a text, paying attention to all the places where you may need to link sounds. You could even write them down so you have something visual to remind you. And then practice reading that aloud. My third recommendation is to create a speaking journal habit. I have a whole lesson on this topic. I'm a huge advocate of speaking journals. So if you haven't watched that yet, I'll share a link down below. If you were to incorporate practicing these phrasal verbs, for example, you would choose 3 or 4, put them into sentences just like I've done in this lesson today, and then record yourself saying them aloud, going back, listening, and evaluating. This is one of the most powerful ways to become truly aware of what you're accomplishing, the progress that you're making, and where you need to improve and continue to practice. Lastly, you can also shadow or mirror others. As I'm sure you know, shadowing is a fantastic way to practice your pronunciation skills. And if you've never done this, what it means is to listen to someone else and as quickly as possible to mimic exactly what you hear. You could even use this lesson to do that. And with that, thank you so much for joining me today. If you found this lesson helpful, you can let me know by giving this lesson a thumbs up here on YouTube and subscribing so you never miss one of my Confident English lessons. I look forward to seeing you next time.